Харе Кришна. Ом Агьяна Тимирандася, Гьянанджана Шалакая, Чакшур Унмилитам Яна, Тасмай Шри Гураве Намаха. Шри Чайтанья Манобиштам Стапитам Йена Бутале, Свайрупа Кадама Агьям Дадати Свападантикам.
Recording in progress.
Ванча Калпатарубьяща Крипа Синубя Эвача Патитанам Паванебьё Вайшнавабьё Намо Намаха. Джая Шри Кришна Чайтанья Прабху Нитянанда Шри Адвейта Гададхара Шри Вас Адигоура Бхакта Вринда Харе Кришна, 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 Харе Харе, Харе Рама, Рама Рама, Харе. Good evening, Hare Krishna students, dear devotees. We're continuing.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh, nice to see you, Dwarakadish Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, we're discussing Bhagavad Gita. We have finished 15th chapter last time, and today we're starting the 16th chapter. Of course, all these chapters are interrelated, and these links between the chapters I'm going to explain now. This chapter number 16 is called The Divine and Demoniac Natures. So I'll just read the part from the purport to the verse 15.1. It is the chapter where Purushottama Yoga is described and where this material existence in form of a tree which grows upwards is described. So in this purport it is written, the root of this material existence grows upward. This means that it begins from the total material substance, from the topmost planet of the universe. From there, the whole universe is expanded with so many branches representing the various planetary systems. The fruits represent the results of the living entities' activities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. So this material existence is compared with tree, and there are so many branches to remain in. It means different species of life, different planetary systems. So there are different ways or routes on this tree which one can follow. Basically, there are only two ways, the way of degradation and the way when we elevate our consciousness. So in chapter number 14, we already have discussed that there are activities in passion, in ignorance, and because of these activities, our consciousness becomes polluted, becomes more conditioned, and we get more sufferings in our life. And it is path of degradation and sufferings. And if to speak about sattva gun or mode of goodness, it is stepping stone for spiritual life. So there are two paths, the divine path and demoniac path. This is chapter number 16, the divine and demoniac natures. So one who develops divine qualities, these divine qualities are they belong to sattva gun. They belong to mode of goodness. And the demoniac qualities are also described in the same 16th chapter. And from this chapter we can get to know what is the destiny of those who are developing divine qualities and those who are developing demoniac qualities. Because of these qualities, this transmigration process goes and we get particular destiny, particular form of life. So Parashara Muni, he is Vyasadeva's father. He explains that our karma, or better to say, we ourselves as personalities, we what exactly we are now? It contains three things. Point number one, the experience of our past lives, our past karma. It is point number one. Point number two, it is our childhood and how our parents were cultivating us. What kind of qualities they were encouraging us to develop what kind of nourishment and what kind of teachings we have got from our parents, because according to Vedic culture, they are our natural gurus. They are also gurus. In Kali Yuga culture, of course, it is not that these parents are always acting like gurus, but anyway, they are giving some kind of understanding about this life, so it goes deeply in one's consciousness, and because of that, we live our life in such way like we live our life. It is point number 2, and point number 3, it is association which we choose. Now we became adult people, we can consciously choose with whom we are going to associate, and we can change our destiny by choosing better association and by developing qualities that will help us to progress. So we're speaking about our past, our present, our future. We create our future by activities, by doing these things that we're doing now. It creates our future. And of course, we're determined to some extent, we're determined by our past. And it is exactly what will be explained here in first 3 verses of 16th chapter. And we're going to ask Dvarkadish Prabhuji to read these verses. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Nice to see you. Good evening.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Chapter 16.
Yes.
The divine and demonic natures. Text 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Avayam Sattva Samsudhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastiti Dhanam Tamas Cha Yagna Cha Savayadhyaya Stapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyaga Santi Abesunam Jaya Bhutesvi Odoputvam Hirdavam Harir Achaplam Teja Shama Dirti Saucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Oh, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much. So this word endowed is very important, or in word-by-word translation we can find this word abhijatasya. Abhijatasya, it means of one who is born of. It means that these qualities that are here, are described here, these divine qualities, it is not acquired qualities, it is inborn qualities. Means particular person is already born with some particular qualities. Why? Because he was following this path of pious life, and he has got these sattvic qualities. So it is the way how one becomes conditioned with his past. If his past was bright and pious and sattvic, then these qualities are abhijatasya. And in purport, Srila Prabhupada explains what is required for this. The word abhijatasya, in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies, is very significant. To beget a child in a godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic scriptures as Garbhadana Samskara. If the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of the human being. As far as I understand, 10 principles, it means 10 the most important samskaras that belong to Vedic culture, like Garbhadana Samskara, or like the ritual when a small child is feeded with grains first time, or initiation, or Vivaha Yagya, and Shraddha when somebody left his body. So it is about this culture. So we have this book which is called Samskaras, written by one ISKCON devotee, and all the procedures, all the rituals are written there. How to do Agnihotra on initiation, for Vivaha Yagya, whatever, for Shraddha ceremony, everything is described. I forgot the name of this author, but anyway, there is a book, very famous book, and cover of the purple cover of the purple color. And anyway, maybe I will try to find this book now on Amazon. Samskaras, Amazon. Let's see, who is the author? Yeah, looks like it is that. Just uploading. Yeah, this one. The author is just one moment. Who is the author? Oh, this book is published by BBT. It is written here. This book is published by BBT, and the authors are Prema Rasa Das, and Sandipani Muni Das. Two authors. I will try to show the cover. Just how to do it. Just one moment. I'd like to show you how it looks like, how this book looks like. Just one moment. We'll remove this background, okay? Like this. Like this. Cover looks like this. So you can order this book, the Book of Samskaras, Purificatory Rituals for Successful Life. This book is published by ISKCON devotees, by BBT. Very important book for pujaris, for those who are doing Agnihotras, for our priests, ISKCON priests. Very important book. So here in purport, Srila Prabhupada, he writes, if the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of the human being. In Bhagavad Gita, we have studied also before that sex life for begetting a good child is Krishna himself. Krishna, he is saying in Bhagavad Gita that sex life according to religious principles, it is me. Maybe you remember this verse from Bhagavad Gita. Sex life is not condemned provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. Those who are in Krishna consciousness at least should not beget children like cats and dogs, but should beget them so that they may become Krishna conscious after birth. That should be the advantage of children born of a father and mother absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So again, we have our own life, and this life consists from 3 parts. The experience of our past lives, okay, our karma from our past lives. Second point is how our parents were dealing with us during our childhood, and what lessons we could extract from this, and what kind of atmosphere and all these things. So in this particular paragraph, this point number 2 is emphasized. And the point number 3, that it is association which we choose. And if we prefer to associate with devotees, it also can help us, even if our past karma is ugly, is ugra karma, is is terrible, if our karma from our past lives is terrible, and if our childhood was not happy anyway, even by choosing proper association, we can change our destiny. And this paragraph, which you can see on the screen, it is about point number 2. It is about the contribution which which parents can make when they are about to have a child. And point number 1, it is karma of past lives. It means that sometimes karma of past lives can be stronger. Point number 1 can be stronger than point number 2. It means parents are devotees. They are doing everything. They send a child to the Gurukul. They are feeding a child with prasadam, and so on and so on. But then child becomes 80 years old. 80, not 80. 18. 18. He will become 80 years old also, but later on. 18 years old. He becomes 18 years old and he tells to his parents, okay, no more Krishna consciousness, I am a free person, my choice is to enjoy this life. It is the case when past karma becomes stronger than this contribution which is made by parents. So parents should be ready for this. Means that this detachment from household life, which is mentioned in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, qualities of knowledge, maybe you remember. 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verses from 8 to 12. Detachment from wife, children, and so on and so on. It doesn't mean that householder, he doesn't have any feelings toward his relatives, but it means that actually it is not that we control everything. It is not that we can make our children Krishna conscious just by our own efforts. We can fail also. We can do everything, but we can fail. It also can be like this. So the process of how living entity takes his birth in material world and his life in general is very nicely described in 31st chapter of 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is very nice chapter and very nice canto. Lord Kapila's instructions on the movements of the living entities. First verse, 31st chapter and 3rd canto. So Lord Kapila Dev, he is saying here, Karmana daiva netrina, jantur dehopa pataye, striyach pravishta udaram, pumsoritach kanashreha. He is speaking, he is explaining how living entity takes birth in this material world. The personality of Godhead said, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord and according to the result of his work, the living entity, the soul, is made to enter into the womb of a woman through the particle of male semen to assume a particular type of body. It means what? Each and every living entity has his karma. It means that according to the result of his work, according to what he was doing during his previous lives, he will get particular parents. These parents can be devotees of Krishna, or they can be Christians, or they can be Muslims, or they can be atheistic people, or they can be alcoholics and drug takers. It depends. Or it can be not even human form of life. It depends on the result of his work. Means each and every living entity has his particular karma. So that Garbhadana Samskara, which is described in the purport to verses from 1st verse to the 3rd verse of 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is written here that devotees who decided to become parents, they should beget a child in a godly atmosphere. It means what? Each and every living entity has his karma. If devotees, they create this godly atmosphere, then it increases their chance to to catch a good soul, to attract good soul in their family as a child, as a son, as a daughter, and so on. That's why we have this prescription that what does it mean Garbhadana Samskara in case of ISKCON, in case of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. It means that before having sexual intercourse, they should chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, each of them. Means husband and wife, they should do it, or even more. And these rounds should not be just in such mood that let me finish my 50 rounds and let's enjoy. If japa is good, if it was really, if they were really absorbed in chanting, then this sexual intercourse will not be in the mood of just ordinary sexual sense enjoyment. It will be something another. Anyway, as a brahmachari, I'm not going to discuss all these things in details. I'm just saying that if husband and wife, if they are devotees of Krishna, especially if they are serious devotees of Krishna, and if they perform this Garbhadana Samskara, then there is a chance that they will attract a soul in their family as their child, soul with particular qualities. And in such way, it will be the soul to this soul, this word abhijatasya, or godly qualities are inborn. This abhijatasya word will be very much applicable. Otherwise, if there is no Garbhadana Samskara, then they will attract another soul, and they will be suffering with the soul trying to rectify the qualities of the soul, because this past karma and these qualities from past lives can be, these inclinations can be very much powerful. Parents, they should not think that, okay, whatever child it is, I will rectify this child according to my vision. Even Hiranyakashipu was not able to rectify his child according to his vision. Hiranyakashipu, he was unable to do it. He was unable to change the qualities, godly qualities of Prahlada Maharaj. So, means if they don't want to suffer, householders, grihastras, if they don't want to suffer with their children, better to chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is much more better than to suffer the next 50 years of their life, you know. It will be much more better. Better to chant 50 rounds than to suffer for 50 years, right? Or for 15 years. So, abhijatasya, very important word, that these godly tendencies, they are inborn. And at the same time, even if these qualities are not inborn, they can be acquired by spiritual practice. It depends on a person. In some cases, some of the qualities are inborn. And if qualities are not inborn, means ugra karma, past lives are horrible. Janma karma chame ugram. Janma karma chame ugram. If it goes like this, then and if that child was not raised properly by his parents, anyway he has a chance. Anyway, he has a chance. What he should do, of course, he should chant holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I personally know one devotee who was, he's from Russia, and he was illiterate till 18 years. Till his age of 18, he was illiterate. He could not read anything. And the way how he was taught to read books, and he actually was gradually attracted by reading books, by reading some of books of Russian literature. It is the way that first he was caught and he was put to the prison because he was pocket thief. He was a pocket thief. Then he was put in prison. Then he was taught to read in the prison. He was 80 or 90 years old when he was there. You just imagine a person who didn't read any books till the age of 18 or 19. It is not the best position in one's life, right? Because it is something really, how to say, not beneficial really. And these other crooks and thieves taught him to read books. And then when he went out from prison, he has got our Bhagavad Gita as it is. And then he became initiated after some time. So it is his destiny. It is his life. Even if our karma is horrible, even if our parents were not so much kind to us, because Krishna is all attractive. He attracts many different souls, sincere souls to this society of Krishna consciousness. And it is not that everyone is pious person. So anyway, everyone has a chance. And if someone will get some qualities in this life, then next birth, these godly qualities will be like abhijatasya for him. Means he will continue the same path, following the same path from the point where he stopped. It is mentioned also in the verse number 2.40. Maybe you remember this verse 2.40. Nehaphikrama na шості, пратявайо на відяте, свалпам апясya dharmasya, трейте махато баят. 2.40. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So, according to the purport, this verse 2.40, it is mainly about Krishna consciousness practice. So someone can say, why you are using this verse here? We're reading verses from 1 to 3 from 16th chapter. It is about divine qualities, godly qualities. But why you are using verse number 2.40? Looks like 2.40 it is about transcendental practice of Krishna consciousness, and verses 16.1 to 3 it is about sattva gun, about mode of goodness. It is about some kind of how to become a good person and so on and so on. But no, not exactly, because these verses, they are started from the line Shri Bhagavan Vacha. It is Krishna's instructions. So he instructs Arjuna, and he instructs each and every living entity who reads Bhagavad Gita and who will read Bhagavad Gita in future. He instructs that these qualities should be there. He is saying that these qualities are abhijatasya. Abhijatasya means there is a person, he takes birth, and just by birth he has some qualities that are godly qualities. And the same situation with demoniac qualities, the same statement is made by Krishna that these qualities are inborn. Means we have past lives, and from our past we take some tendencies. Some of these tendencies can be godly tendencies, some of these tendencies can be demoniac tendencies. It is normal. If we chant Hare Krishna, everyone has a chance. We should just control some demoniac tendencies if something is manifested, and we should develop, and we are also encouraged by our spiritual leaders to develop these qualities that are mentioned here in this verse. So now we're going to analyze these qualities. Everything starts from mentioning, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning Varnashrama Dharma here, and he is saying that this institution, okay, I will read. The social institution known as Varnashrama Dharma, the institution dividing society into 4 divisions of social life and 4 occupational divisions or castes, is not meant to divide human society according to birth. Such divisions are in terms of educational qualifications. They are to keep the society in a state of peace and prosperity. The qualities mentioned herein are explained as transcendental qualities meant for making a person progress in spiritual understanding so that he can get liberated from the material world. So you see, it is not just about good qualities. Just become a good person. Just become a better version of yourself. It is not about this. It is about qualities because of such qualities. Because of these qualities, one can become liberated from material world. So there is particular sequence. These qualities are mentioned here in the verse in particular sequence. Everything starts from fearlessness, then purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge. There is particular logic why this sequence goes like this. Srila Prabhupada explains that this fearlessness is the first qualification of a sannyasi. He writes here, and actually Srila Prabhupada also has shown this on the example of his own life. Fearlessness. Because a sannyasi has to be alone without any support or guarantee of support, he has simply to depend on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one thinks, after I leave my connections, who will protect me? He should not accept the renounced order of life. One must be fully convinced that Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his localized aspect as Paramatma is always within, that he is seeing everything and he always knows what one intends to do. So Srila Prabhupada, he had another plan. Originally he had another plan. His plan is that let me just develop my business. I'm just producing these pills, drugs to cure people, and just let me have some money from this business. And then when I will be having this financial capacities, then I will use this money as a grihastha. I will use this money to promote Krishna consciousness, because Srila Prabhupada, he has got this instruction from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati that he should preach Krishna consciousness in English language outside India. So he had such plan that let me just get some money from my business and then I will be using this money to promote Krishna consciousness. But Krishna had another plan, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati also, he was coming in Srila Prabhupada's dream 3 times, and he was trying to insist and to convince Srila Prabhupada that he has to take sannyas. Maybe you know this story. So 3 times Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was coming in his dream, and finally, after discussing this with his senior spiritual, senior God brothers, Srila Prabhupada decided that it should be done, and he took this sannyas, and then in this role of a sannyasi, after some time, he went to US. And he was without any support maybe for 1 year. It was Krishna's arrangement. But anyway, he was just depending on the mercy of Krishna. And peacefully and patiently was doing whatever he could do, and was expecting help from Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, he has manifested this quality in his own life. And we can get these examples from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. One must thus have firm conviction that Krishna as Paramatma will take care of a soul surrendered to him. I shall never be alone, one should think. Even if I live in the darkest regions of a forest, I shall be accompanied by Krishna, and he will give me all protection. That conviction is called Abhayam, fearlessness. Srila Prabhupada's name is also Abhay. It is quite important. So Abhay, Abhayam, fearlessness. This state of mind is necessary for a person in the renounced order of life. The next quality which is also needed for a sannyasi is mentioned here. It is purification of one's existence. And Srila Prabhupada gives the rule that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he took sannyas, he was never speaking with any woman in a secluded place, and feminine devotees could not even come near to offer their respects. They were advised to bow down from a distant place. And also this story of Chhota Haridasa is mentioned here, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was really strict about these rules of renunciation. So in case of sannyasi order of life, purification means to follow strictly the rules of this order. Any order of life has its rules, and we can follow this dharma of our ashrama, and by following this dharma of our ashrama, we can be protected from Maya, from Mahamaya. And also these 10 samskaras that were mentioned, they are also can be considered as processes of purification, of course. Processes of purification. When we chant holy names and when we go through the ritual, through the procedure of diksha, when this samskara is going on, this ritual is going on, when someone is becoming initiated, it is also purificational process. We become connected with parampara, and parampara starts from Krishna, and Krishna is one who is most purest. We chant holy names, and our heart becomes more and more pure. It is so nice. Hare Krishna. Also, sannyasi life is meant for distributing knowledge to the householders, Srila Prabhupada writes here, and others who have forgotten their real life of spiritual advancement. Jnana yoga vyavasthiti means one should develop, cultivate spiritual knowledge within himself. Very simple process. Actually, it is not only for sannyasis, it is for everyone. Srila Prabhupada he established this ISKCON movement, and he was encouraging everyone to cultivate knowledge by reading his books, by sharing this knowledge with others. Jnana yoga vyavasthiti. It means we read the book, we get some knowledge, then we go to the devotees and we share this knowledge with them. And the result is that after explaining something to other people, we understand it, we ourselves, we understand the subject matter better. It works like this. So this Shravanam Kirtanam process is prescribed for everyone. Srila Prabhupada established ISKCON as preaching movement. Preaching movement means we are going to share this knowledge with others. And to share the knowledge means to cultivate the knowledge within ourselves. It is interrelated. There was a period of time when book distributors were just distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. They were not so much familiar with these books, what was written in the books. So a few times Srila Prabhupada gave this instruction that these books are not just for distribution. The books are also for reading. We have one Indradyumna Swami's disciple in Russia. One devotee, he is disciple of His Holiness Srila Indradyumna Swami, Srila Prabhupada's disciple. So now this devotee became Diksha Guru in ISKCON. He gives initiations. But how his spiritual life was started? He also was book distributor in 90s. And when he was approaching people, he was saying like this: you please take these books. These books are very good. I myself, I don't know what is written there. I have no time to read. But my friends told me that these books are good. And because of this sincerity, people were taking the books from him. And after some time, he understood that better to read also. And now he is initiating Guru in ISKCON. Life goes like this. So first we join ISKCON, and very, very basics of spiritual life are given to us, and then gradually, step by step, we get more and more qualification and empowerment. And who knows who is going to get what kind of empowerment. So that's why such instruction can be given to everyone. Just try to become a good devotee according to your capacities. And then to be good devotee means to have an intention to be the good instrument in Krishna's hands. And then it is up to Krishna to decide who is going to be engaged in which kind of devotional service. We're reading further. Next item is charity. Actually, we are going to dedicate the whole lesson just to explain and to expand this purport to this very first 3 verses of 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, because actually we have a lot of things to discuss here. This course, because you see, Muralidhar Shyam Prabhuji, he gave me opportunity to give 20 classes, so we have time. We don't have to jump from one verse to another. We have time. Especially we have time to pay sufficient attention to some essential things. And also, I have started to write a book about these divine qualities that are described here in the first 3 verses of 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Because you see, there are examples how Srila Prabhupada was manifesting these qualities in his own life. So these examples we are going to read today from the draft of my book. And I hope I will finish with this book very quickly with the help of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence helps me to write this book, just to compile different parts from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Transcendental Diary, and so on, just to find particular examples that are needed to illustrate particular qualities, godly qualities. So I hope that it will not take much time, and you will get the book also through Mataji, who is organizing our course. And we are going to read some examples even today from this draft of this book. Charity. The next item is charity. Charity is meant for the householders. The householders should earn a livelihood by an honorable means and spend 50% of their income to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. Someone can say, so much one has to give to Krishna. The whole 50%, so much. How we are going to survive? Well, in Russian ISKCON, the implementation of this rule goes like this, that first you get your salary, then you do your basic expenses for electricity. We have no electricity. There is no electricity in spiritual world. But here we have to pay for electricity. We have to pay for water, for some food stuff, for what? For clothes, new clothes. So when some basic expenses are done, then they are saying, our Russian leaders of Russian ISKCON, then you can divide whatever is there, you can divide in 2 parts, and then one of these parts, 50% of what is there, you can give. It is the implementation of this rule. If someone is a successful businessman or someone has good income, then he can give 50% even before doing these basic expenses. But anyway, it is good because you see, it is how our mind works. Our mind works wherever we put our endeavors, wherever we invest our time, our resources, energy, then mind has tendency to think about this. It is very natural process. You donate your money to someone, then you are naturally thinking, what this guy is going to do with my money? So in such way, we're thinking about a person who took this donation. We're thinking about ISKCON. We're thinking about projects where this money are supposed to be used. And in such way, to think about ISKCON means to think about Krishna, basically. Because it is Krishna's will that Srila Prabhupada should establish this ISKCON, this society. So it is natural process. Of course, one should not donate too much and then regret. It is called charity in the mode of passion. We are going to discuss it also later on in a particular chapter number 17, as far as I remember. Charity in Rajagun is described there. So it should be some amount of money which will not make you poor man, but which will help you to remember that I gave such money to ISKCON, to Krishna through ISKCON, and it will be engaged in devotional service. And in such way, naturally, we are thinking about devotional service. It goes like this. This word charity in Sanskrit verse, it is word tyagaha. Tyagaha, this word, tyagaha, means charity. And also tyagaha means renunciation. Word tyaga has two meanings. One meaning is charity, and another meaning is renunciation. It means that it is the practice when we give something to Krishna, we develop this mood of renunciation, this understanding that actually whatever I gave to Krishna, it originally belongs to him. So in such way, we can give to Krishna what we can give. Prana, Artha, Dhya, Vacha. 4 things. This verse is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Prana, Artha, Dhya, Vacha. Prana means living force, means our energy. Then Artha means money, different material resources. Then Dhya means intelligence. We can put endeavors, we can use our intelligence by trying to understand who is Krishna, what is devotional service, and so on. And now we're sitting here all together and discussing sacred scriptures. It is yagya. It is the process when we're trying to use our intelligence. And we're praying to Krishna also that Krishna should give us more intelligence. We're using this intelligence to understand spiritual subject matters. It is nice. Otherwise, if intelligence or if mind is not engaged positively, then automatically it is engaged negatively. Anyway, this consciousness will find some other objects to think about. And now we're thinking about Bhagavad Gita. Prana, Artha, Dhya, Vacha. Energy, material resources, then intelligence, and then Vacha. Vacha means power of speech. We can speak something about Krishna. We can chant holy names. We can explain people who is Krishna and what is Bhagavad Gita, and so on and so on. It is our way how we can dedicate our nature, ourselves, our energy, our efforts in devotional service. So tyagaha, it is this word, Sanskrit word, has 2 meanings. One meaning is charity, we give something. And another meaning is renunciation. It means that we give something and it helps us to understand that actually it belongs to Krishna. Like Srila Prabhupada, he gives this example that a child, he can approach his father and he can give his father some sweets. And he can tell to his father, take these sweets. These sweets are so nice. And father is not going to tell to his child, what you are doing, these sweets are not yours. These sweets are mine. Why you are giving me my sweets? So it is how Bhakta and Krishna are dealing with each other, because everything belongs to Krishna. So Bhakta, devotee, he gives something to Krishna. He understands that originally it belongs to Krishna, and Krishna understands that it belongs to him. But anyway, these relationships are very sweet, because Krishna, he understands that this Bhakta, he is not just giving me these material resources that came from me, that belong me, but also he gave this material resource, material object, plus bhakti, matter plus bhakti equal to offering. It means offering. It becomes offering. It becomes bhoga. It becomes something which is meant for Krishna to enjoy. He is bhokta. He is bhokta. Upadarashta numantacha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha bhokta. He is bhokta. And whatever we offer to Krishna, it is called bhoga. Bhog. It means something which is meant for Krishna's enjoyment. So charity can be in different modes of material nature. It is written here, and we are going to discuss the details of this in the next chapter. Means not now, later on. And also the quality of self-control is mentioned here. In case of householder, it means that they are going to have sex life only to have good children in Krishna consciousness. And if he means man, means husband, if he is able to beget children who will be in Krishna consciousness, one can produce hundreds of children, but without this capacity, one should not indulge only for sense pleasure. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati also was telling about himself. Even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati himself, he was not sure that he is able to produce hundreds of children in Krishna consciousness. He was not sure. He was saying that I'm not in household life, not in Grihastha Ashrama, because I'm not sure that I will succeed in this. Again, it is not so easy, because our consciousness contains from three parts. Again, it contains from three parts. Our past karma, point number one, our past karma. Point number two, how our parents were dealing with us, and how this process of cultivation of our consciousness in childhood was going on. And the third point is the association which we choose now. Being adult people, we can consciously choose particular association which will help us to degrade or to elevate our consciousness. It depends on association. Sacrifice, it is written here. Another item to be performed by householders. Brahmacharis, vanaprasthis, sannyasis, they have no money, and because of that, householders, they are donating, they are giving charity, and but anyway, this process of sacrifice is applicable to any person in any varna or any ashrama, because the most important sacrifice or yagya, it is Sankirtana yagya. Each and every person can chant Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like Srila Prabhupada, he was telling to his Japanese disciples, this process is very simple. You chant holy names, you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra when you go from your home to your job. You can chant holy names. When you go from your job to your home, you also can chant holy names. When you are sitting somewhere in park, you can also chant holy names. Japanese people, usually they are workaholics. They work a lot. So because of that, he is saying that when you go from your home to job, you can chant. When you go from your job to home, you also can chant. When you are taking rest, you can chant. And what is the most important, he is saying in this letter or in this class, I don't remember, in these instructions addressed to Japanese disciples, what is the most important, it is completely free. It is completely free. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra is completely free for you. Likely, we also have got Hare Krishna Mahamantra for free, right? Or someone did any payment to ISKCON that they would tell you Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No, ISKCON is giving Hare Krishna Mahamantra for free. It is Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Svadhyaya, Vedic study means it is about reading process, to read books. Brahmacharis should have no connection with women. They should live a life of celibacy and engage the mind in the study of Vedic literature for cultivation of spiritual knowledge. That is called Svadhyaya. So before we had another term in Sanskrit also about knowledge, and it is what? It is Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, and now we're using the word Svadhyaya. What is the difference? The difference is that Svadhyaya, it is this word usually we use in context of brahmachari life, because in this young age, it is so nice when you just sitting and reading Srila Prabhupada's books and imbibing this knowledge, because in other ashramas, in other orders of life, usually people, they have no time for this. Householders, they are lacking of time, and vanaprasthas are also lacking of time, and even sannyasis, they are traveling a lot from one place to another. So everyone is busy. But when we are on this stage of brahmachari life, there is particular time when usually it is not just allowed, but it is prescribed. It is the rule for any temple resident that person has just to sit and to read books in order to imbibe this knowledge, this wisdom given to us by Srila Prabhupada. And then when we imbibe this wisdom, we can share this wisdom with others, and it is helpful for us, for them. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he also wrote a letter to Srila Prabhupada just 2 weeks before his departure. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's departure. 2 weeks before his departure, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati wrote a letter to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada wrote him the same question: how can I serve you? You have so many brahmacharis and sannyasis, they are doing a lot of service, and I'm just a grihastha, I'm busy with these mundane things. How can I serve you? What is the best way for me to serve you? And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati answered in this letter like, he repeated the same message, the same instruction, that you preach Krishna consciousness outside India in English language, and then he wrote in this letter in such way you yourself will be benefited, and those people who will be listening to you, they also will be benefited. So the same way we read these books, we preach this knowledge, and in such way we become benefited, other people become benefited, everything goes nicely. So it is so nice that you have found time to go through this Bhakti Shastri course you decided to dedicate your time, precious time, for this education and to understand the essence of these 4 important books written by Srila Prabhupada: Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, Sri Shapanishad, Bhagavad Gita. Is this foundation of our of our message. It is foundation which will help us to preach nicely. It can be different kinds of preaching. It can be classes. It can be bhakti vrikshas, namahatas. It also can be educational process. It can be book distribution. It can be harinam, food for life, whatever. It depends on your situation. But anyway, it is really good that you decided to dedicate your time for these things. And the next quality, which is mentioned here in...
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Oh, you have a question, right? Yeah. So what is the point?
Because my internet is unstable, so I'm going up and down. Anyway, the tapas kind of thing, brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. So after grihastha, householder life, one should retire. What does it mean, Prabhu? Retire from the family, leave the family and go, or practice Krishna consciousness with the regulatory principle?
You are asking about vanaprastha lifestyle, right?
Especially, yeah.
Okay. Well, it doesn't...
Because at my age, I should be 100%.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations. Well,
so I'm still living with my, but we are practicing 100%, continue the Krishna consciousness, everything. So is that mean that I go to leave my wife and go somewhere else? Oh,
not obviously.
Just one question. One question, Prabhu.
Yeah.
I did ask, pose this question to my one sannyasi. Maharaj, that I'm already so old already, but I don't have sons. I only have daughter. In such condition, I'm already now age. Can I practice one prasada by leaving my wife? And what he says, merely says, by leaving your wife, you're going to get another marriage.
No, it is not a good idea. Not a good idea.
What he says is, you should practice your vanaprastha life by taking care of your wife, because you don't have a son, you have only daughters. So you must consider your wife as your Mataji, something like that. Continue your Krishna consciousness. But some devotees are telling, sorry Prabhu, some devotees are telling, you're already age ready, you should retire. I don't know what do they mean retire.
That is the point, that retirement doesn't mean that we're rejecting whatever we have. This process, when we go from one ashrama to another, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, it is exactly about expanding the area of our responsibility. In this case, retirement, it doesn't mean that we have to reject these people and to forget about their existence. It means, well, if to speak about vanaprastha life, just 2 things are needed to consider a person that he went from grihastha position to vanaprastha position. One point is that he is not indulged in sex life with her wife anymore. It is one point. The another point is that he is absorbed and engaged in preaching activities in ISKCON, in service, in devotional service, and his taste of life mainly is he derives taste of life from devotional activities, from preaching, from taking responsibility regarding lives of others. Vanaprastha, what he is doing, he is trying to inspire family couples. He is trying to inspire grihasthas to remain grihasthas, not to separate, not to divorce. And he is trying to inspire brahmacharis to remain brahmacharis. And he is inspiring everyone to chant Hare Krishna. So it is missionary activity. It means we it means that person, he had experience of brahmachari life, then he had experience of household life. Would be good if this experience is successful, because it is not that everyone's household life experience is successful or pleasant, but anyway, he derived some lessons from these things, and then he just shares his wisdom, his knowledge, his experience with others. And well, maybe not so much sitting at home, maybe traveling from one place to another, but it doesn't mean that he rejects responsibility for his family. If he has some grown-up children who are able to take care of a wife, then okay. Otherwise, anyway, we should be responsible. We should be responsible. And this process, when we go from brahmachari to grihastha, from grihastha to vanaprastha, from vanaprastha to sannyasi, it is mainly about the expansion of our area of responsibility, area of empowerment. It is not that someone is rejecting his wife because he already fed up with household life and he wants some freedom in form of traveling from one place to another and preaching Krishna consciousness. Yeah.
If your family is not favorable of Krishna consciousness, I feel that this statement is okay, accepted. Because your wife is not supporting, she is not in Krishna consciousness, she is material, you are in Krishna consciousness, it will be an obstacle for you, you can leave,
Yeah, it
But
is exception.
Both
It is,
husband
yeah.
and wife are both exception. Okay, understand. Both are
Yeah.
involved in Krishna consciousness, you should continue that. Okay, protect each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even Srila Prabhupada, he was trying to convince his wife to accept Krishna consciousness, to take it seriously. He was trying to convince, to engage her in service for quite a long time. Well, like this, something like this. Anyway, renunciation, it is not about to make our life free from anxieties, worries, and so on. We can take even more anxieties in terms of Krishna's mission, in terms of ISKCON mission. If some anxieties are needed to rule some projects, to promote Krishna consciousness, it is about this. It is not about that we are searching for easy life, Hare Krishna.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much for a nice question, Dvarakadish Prabhuji.
Yeah, because this kind of misunderstanding among the devotees must be very clear. Some are very different meanings. Some are thinking in a different direction. A lot of confusion going on. I'm seeing in my practical life with the devotees. So, like what we say that if the wife is not favorable to the Krishna consciousness, you leave the wife with somebody or let them take care. You leave this okay, but both of you are in Krishna consciousness. It will be an added advantage to contribute more towards Krishna consciousness.
Okay. Also, it is recommended to discuss. It is recommended to discuss such subject matters with spiritual master. Sometimes they allow, sometimes they don't allow. Generally, in Vedic tradition, the divorce is considered to be sinful act, because it is the situation when responsibility is rejected and children, they have no family now. Family is destroyed, you see. So because of that, but there can be different situations, and it can be also discussed with senior devotees and with spiritual master who took responsibility for our spiritual life. Okay, we're going further. Thank you very much, Dvarakadish Prabhuji, for a nice question. So we're going further. So here it is written about tapasya. Tapasya, which is especially meant for the retired life. One should not remain a householder throughout his whole life. He must always remember that there are 4 divisions of life. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. He should retire. It is about your question. He should retire. If one lives for 100 years, he should spend... Okay, this mathematics is quite well known. That life is divided in 4 parts. Okay, let it be so. These are the regulations of Vedic religious discipline. A man retired from household life must practice austerities of the body, mind and tongue. That is tapasya. The entire Varnashrama Dharma society is meant for tapasya. Again, what kind of austerities should be performed? It also can be discussed with spiritual authorities, because sometimes people, they are just torturing themselves on bodily level, just trying to starve for a long time out of fanaticism. Some people, they can practice some self-made austerities. So we should get to know from our spiritual authorities what does it mean in my particular case, what kind of austerity I should take. And these austerities are described in the next chapter, 17th chapter. But also to chant holy names on regular basis, it is also austerity. When we chant holy names every day, because mind can say that, okay, just take a rest, just have a holiday, and we should not listen to our mind. So, tapasya. The entire Varnashrama Dharma society is meant for tapasya. Without tapasya or austerity, no human being can get liberation. So there are different kinds of tapasya that are described in 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Also, this subject matter can be discussed with our spiritual authorities. And also, the very principle of tapasya is mentioned, just let me find the verse, in Rishabhadev's Rishabhadev instructions. Lord Rishabhadev gives instructions, just where it is. It should be in 5th chapter or 5th canto of Bhagavad Gita, right? Rishabhadev teachings to his son. Canto 5, chapter 5. He explains this principle of tapasya here. Just look this point, this verse. It is verse 551. 551. Lord Rishabhadeva told his sons, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stew. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. In 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, different conceptions of happiness will be mentioned. Happiness in modes of material nature. And happiness in mode of goodness is described like first you drink poison, then you drink nectar. Maybe you remember this explanation, this description. So Lord Rishabhadev explains such process that austerity, tapasya, usually perceived like this. First, it is discomfortable, but then it becomes really nice. Tapodivyam. Tapodivyam. In Sanskrit language, we call it tapodivyam or divine austerity. It is not some kind of self-made austerity when I'm just trying to find the verse where this tapodivyam is mentioned. These Sanskrit words, tapodivyam. Where it is. Anyway, tapodivyam or divine austerity. Divine austerity, it means that we're not just doing self-made austerities. We get knowledge about austerities, authorized austerities from sacred scriptures. Otherwise, it will be something else. Here, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes very interesting thing. Human life means voluntarily practicing suffering for the advancement of spiritual life. There is, of course, suffering in the lives of animals and plants, which are suffering due to their past misdeeds. However, human beings should voluntarily accept suffering in the form of austerities and penances in order to attain the divine life. After attaining the divine life, one can enjoy happiness eternally. So we can ask the question, what kind of voluntarily suffering can be there? And let's go back to Bhagavad Gita, to the second chapter, where this Matras Parshastu Kaunteya verse is there. And just let me find this verse, because in the purport to this verse, good examples of these tapasyas are given. Where it is? It is Matras Parshastu Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukha Dah. Just trying to find this verse here. This one. 2.14. Matras Parshastu Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukha Dah Agamapayano Nitya Stamsti Tikshasa Bharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They are arise from sense perception of son of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Even when we are taking part on these lessons on Bhakti Shastri course, sometimes we can feel discomfort. Sometimes it is boring for us to sit at one place for a long time, right? Or sometimes we think that, this teacher is speaking giving so boring class. Sometimes such feeling can be there. But you please tolerate. First poison and then nectar. Nectar will be next, on the next step, when you will be implementing this knowledge in your life. It will be very much helpful. Or for example, two examples are given here. That sometimes people, they have to take their bath early in the morning, even during the months of Magha, January, February. It is very cold at that time. It is also the example of tapodivyam or divine austerity. If, for example, we have to take bath in a cold shower, but then after taking bath, we go to Mangala Arati. We go to Mangala Arati, or we go to worship the deity. So for that, to worship the deity, we have to be clean. Or to attend Mangala Arati, we have to be clean. And sometimes we have no hot water in our tap. And sometimes this tapasya is needed by Krishna's arrangement. Or another example is given here. Woman doesn't hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Sometimes our cooks in ISKCON, they also are going through some inconveniences. And the most common inconvenience, it is relationships between people. Relationships between devotees. Some people are comfortable for us to deal with. Some people are not. But in order to satisfy Srila Prabhupada, we accept this austerity of cooperation. Because Srila Prabhupada, he told, just before departure, he told that your love to me will be manifested according to your capacity to cooperate between each other in order to promote this movement. It is quite well-known quote. So for Srila Prabhupada's satisfaction, for satisfaction of our previous acharyas, to satisfy Krishna, we accept some inconveniences time to time. Sometimes there is no hot water. Sometimes one has to cook in particular circumstances. Sometimes we have to deal with some people whom we prefer to neglect if it will not be in context of devotional service, and so on. But these inconveniences, Krishna knows everything. We know this from 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He knows, as a super soul, he knows everything. And he knows each and every austerity, each and every tapasya which we had to go through. So he is able to estimate it. He is able to estimate it, and we also should estimate whatever is given to us by Srila Prabhupada, by ISKCON. We should also not to take it as granted, but to estimate it and to be grateful. And now we're going to the book. We will be reading the stories from Srila Prabhupada's life. These stories that are like examples. Just where it is? Where is the book? Stories that are like examples of these divine qualities that are here in the first 3 verses of 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So the sequence here goes in another way. First of all, I've listed qualities that are recommended for everyone according to... okay, let me show you this chart. This chart is from one manual, and here you can see the qualities are listed, and the next part, the next column, it is the varna or ashrama to whom this quality is recommended to develop. Charity is for grihastha, sacrifice for grihastha, austerity for everyone, svadhyaya, Vedic study for brahmacharis, and so on and so on. So we use this chart from the manual, and these divine qualities are listed here in such a way that first we list qualities that are meant for everyone, then for particular varnas, then for particular ashramas. And also, because we're speaking about divine qualities or godly qualities, this subject matter is mentioned not only in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, but also we have Srimad Bhagavatam. We have 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Narada Muni gives instructions to different people that belong to different varnas and ashramas. It is chapters from 11 to 15 in 7th canto of Bhagavatam. Well, better I would show you the verse from Bhagavatam. We have another list of qualities, and if someone has these qualities or he developed these qualities, he is considered to be civilized person. Basically, this verse from 7th canto of Bhagavatam and that verses from 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita are interrelated, just different lists of qualities. We will skip the Sanskrit and we'll ask Narottama Prabhuji to read the translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. These are the general principles to be followed by all human beings: truthfulness, mercy, austerity, observing fast on certain days of the month, bathing twice a day, tolerance, discrimination between right and wrong, control of the mind, control of the senses, non-violence, celibacy, charity, reading of scripture, simplicity, satisfaction, rendering service to saintly persons, gradually taking leave of unnecessary engagements, observing the futility of the unnecessary activities of human society, remaining silent and grave and avoiding unnecessary talk, considering whether one is the body or the soul, distributing food equally to all living entities, both men and animals, seeing every soul, especially in the human form, as a part of the Supreme Lord, hearing about the activities and instructions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of saintly persons, chanting about these activities and instructions, always remembering these activities and instructions, trying to run the service, performing worship, offering obeisances, becoming a servant, becoming a friend, and surrendering one's whole self. O King Yudhishthira, these 30 qualifications must be acquired in the human form of life. Simply by acquiring these qualifications, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you see this verse 7.11.8 to 12 gives the answer on the question, what should I do? Because it is typical. People sometimes they are thinking, what should I do? What is the purpose of my life? So we have the whole program to accomplish. 30 qualities to develop in this particular and very prestigious, very not prestigious, prestigious, and prestigious also human form of life. And one can satisfy Supreme Personality of Godhead by practicing all these things, by being tolerant and simple and so on, and avoiding unnecessary talk. Supreme Lord, He observing everything, He knows what we're doing, He knows in what kind of talks we're engaged, and if we're avoiding unnecessary talk, He knows, and He becomes more satisfied than if we are engaged in unnecessary talks, and so on. So here in purport, Srila Prabhupada basically he repeats all the same that was written in the purport, and the last statement in this purport is that human civilization should take it very seriously and practice its principles for the peace of the world. So we have two lists, one list in the 7th canto of Bhagavatam given by Narada Muni. It is like expanded knowledge of these qualities, divine qualities given or described in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now we're going back to the book. Where it is here. So we will start from Arjavam. Arjavam means simplicity, and it is one of 26 divine qualities from 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Again, there are two lists of actually three lists. Idiotis, there are three. There is one from 16th chapter. There is another from 7th canto of Bhagavatam. And also there is a list from Chaitanya Charitamrita, 26 qualities of a devotee, which differs from the list from 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It is about godly qualities, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the list of qualities of a devotee, 26 qualities, also 26 qualities of a devotee. It is mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So simplicity means honesty, straightforwardness, and freedom from duplicity. A person should be sincere in thoughts, words, and actions without hidden motives or hypocrisy. Simplicity is not the exclusive duty of any particular varna or ashrama. Every member of society, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, should cultivate this quality. One should be very simple, straightforward. Because spiritual advancement depends upon purity of heart and sincerity of character. Narada Muni includes this Arjavam or simplicity in the list of 30 qualities from 7th canto of Bhagavatam, means it is repeated there. Also, in verse 7, 11, 21 from Bhagavatam, Arjavam or simplicity is mentioned as defining characteristics of a Brahmana. It means that in the purport to 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, this Arjavam or simplicity is for everyone, and Srimad Bhagavatam 7, 11, 25, Narada Muni emphasizes, okay, it is for everyone, but especially for Brahmana. And we are reading the example. The example goes from Hari Shauri Prabhu's book, Transcendental Diary, Tamal Krishna Maharaja entered Prabhupada's sitting room and informed him that Rameshwara and the reporter were on their way up in the elevator. When Prabhupada heard that it was a woman, he was a bit vexed. Then it is useless waste of time. These women reporters are useless. She will come in and simply ask my name. What is that mark on your face? How many followers have you got? How much money do you make? Like that. So he knew, Srila Prabhupada knew what kind of questions will be asked. And so he was Arjavam, he was simple, means we are going to read this example. He was not trying to make a show that I'm a great religious leader and ask me the question, I will answer in such a way that this answer will present me in nice way. And so, no, he was really Arjavam or simple here. She started off with inquiries about Srila Prabhupada himself, about whether he had thoughts of retiring. What is the reason? I'm curious, she said. Prabhupada asked her why she was asking him such a question, catching her off guard. What is the reason I'm curious? She said. Because we are trying to develop and try to understand what the trends are in religion, all types of religion, whether it will be Christianity, Catholicism, Evangelicism, and so on. Prabhupada told her that he had already retired before he started the movement, and that anyway there is no question of retirement from spiritual life, it is eternal. Wanda had some trouble understanding Prabhupada's accent, so Rameshwara acted as a kind of interpreter for her, repeating statements both ways to ensure clarity in their communication. I was wondering whether perhaps you would personally take a less active role, she asked. No, I'm not taking any very great active part. They are doing, I'm simply reading, Srila Prabhupada replied. Rameshwara tried to be helpful in promoting more dialogue, and Prabhupada had no objection to his going so. In fact, he would have been happy to let his disciple handle the whole thing. Rameshwara said, but I was explaining to her that you are traveling all over the world, visiting your centers, and at the same time writing so many books. That may be lessened, Srila Prabhupada said, but that doesn't mean retirement. Wanda said she didn't mean retirement from spiritual life, she was asking about the management of the movement. I was wondering if you have a successor to take your place when you die. Not yet settled up, Srila Prabhupada told her. So what process would the Hare Krishnas? We have got secretaries, Prabhupada said, they are managing. Rameshwar explained to her that Srila Prabhupada had 18 secretaries who each take charge of a different part of the world. And so that group of 18 secretaries will choose another leader? Wanda asked. I am training each one of them as a leader, Srila Prabhupada explained, so that they can spread extensively. That is my idea. Then she asked the inevitable question about finances. Yes, devotees, this question is really inevitable. Prabhupada told her that without any finances we could go on, yet she couldn't grasp Prabhupada's statement and asked how that could be. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not have any financial help, Prabhupada said, but his movement is going on. It doesn't depend on financial, it is independent. Spiritual movement is independent of any material help. That is spiritual movement. But how would you be able to carry out your educational or book publishing program if you didn't have a financial backing? How I'm managing now? Prabhupada retorted. But now you are doing well financially, she said. You are stressing on financial help. But my reply is that this movement doesn't depend on financial help. That is the reply. Bali Mardana Prabhu stated to say something in the beginning, but Prabhupada cut him off anytime. It doesn't depend on financial help. She couldn't relate to the answer to all, and Prabhupada made no attempt to detail it. She asked again where our money came from. Prabhupada gave her a simple one-liner: money comes from Krishna. To Wanda, Prabhupada's answer was too abstract to understand. From where, she asked Rameshwara, becoming slightly bewildered. Krishna, Rameshwara repeated. The public relations woman, starting to sense the interview was not progressing very positively for Wanda, made a suggestion. Rameshwara, maybe if Prabhupada just told how in the first year how the books were sold before there was this publishing. There was a time in which there was just a storefront. How were these books sold in the very beginning? Rameshwara obliged. Prabhupada personally went to the printer in Japan. He personally made the arrangement with the printer, the first printing. The PR woman continued to try to coax things along. But how did he sell his first book in America? There was a process. Prabhupada didn't really care whether Wanda was getting a good interview or not. He didn't like the level it was being conducted on. He interrupted. I mean to say, what is our financial arrangement? Why these questions are being raised? It is not interview about movement. They are very much interested about our financial help. Wanda got the message and switched subjects. What do you think about some of the other gurus? Since you are yourself considered a guru, do you study anybody else? Prabhupada looked to his men. These answers you can give. Bali Mardana thought he was asking for clarification of the question. She said, what do you think about the other gurus? Why shall I think of other gurus? Prabhupada replied, oil your own machine. Oil your own machine. So you see, it is the way, it is simplicity, it is arjavam. He is not trying to make a show that I'm a great leader and to present in ISKCON in a particular way. This conversation just, it goes like it goes, you see? He makes impossible for Wanda, for the interviewer, to catch him in any question. It is the way how Srila Prabhupada is dealing with this journalist, but again, it is not something which one should imitate. We should be on our own level. We should not imitate. But anyway, this example is inspirational one. Another dead end. Wanda switched track again. Could you tell me a little bit about your background? When you were young, what types of things you did? Srila Prabhupada stonewalled her, taking Wanda by surprise. Why shall I tell you? Why shall I tell you? Pardon me? Why shall I tell you? If you wish, Wanda returned to trying to impose herself. Why shall I wish? Why shall I wish? Wanda obviously wasn't used to being on the receiving end, especially not on this type of assignment. Well, reporters have to ask these questions, otherwise I would be out of business. And so on and so on. Okay, I will provide you this book, very interesting book. At one point she asked Srila Prabhupada, are you prepared to die? Prabhupada replied by asking her the same question. You are not prepared, why don't you answer? Pardon me, you are not prepared to die. Wanda was caught and hesitated a little. I haven't thought about it too much. Srila Prabhupada psychoanalyzed her. Why you are asking me why? Because you are afraid. You are not prepared to die. Perhaps that is the reason, Wanda conceded. Everyone will die, Prabhupada told her. You prepare or not prepare, you'll die. It doesn't matter whether you're prepared or not. Death must be there. And so on and so on. Such conversation, such interview. It is called Arjavam. It is called, I'm not going to make any show. of myself, and it also means I'm not going to be caught in your traps that these interviewers, these journalists are using. Very nice example. Ahimsa, the next quality, ahimsa, non-violence. It means do not impede the progressive life of any living being. Do not cause unnecessary harm to others. And also, as we remember from 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, ahimsa, it means also to preach Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, if we don't preach Krishna consciousness, the situation is similar to the situation that you have a medicine against, for example, against COVID-19, and no one has this vaccine. No one has vaccine against for COVID-19, but you have. And if you are not going to share this vaccine with others, it is not good. It is like violence against others. So the same way we have this medicine against the disease of material existence. That's why to preach means to practice ahimsa. And these qualities is meant for everyone. Also, it is listed in the list of 30 universal qualities given by Narada Muni. And the example goes like this. Ahimsa, or desire to enlighten people with Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada explains the nature of preaching activity. Do they not see the benefit of the society, that we are not killing children, we are maintaining them with sufficient milk? Is it not better civilization? And they are, for fear of overpopulation, they are killing. Srila Prabhupada, he is discussing here the difference between materialistic civilization and contribution which ISKCON gives to the society. The mother is killing the child. Is that civilization? We welcome and they kill. So why do they not find the distinction between this civilization, that civilization? Drishtadhyumna Swami said they have no arguments except they want to be free. But they are not free. Means Srila Prabhupada, he is speaking about people who are suffering in material world without Krishna consciousness. But they are not free. Prabhupada said, that means they are fools. Where is your freedom? Nature is working. If you are free, then don't die. Nobody wants to die. What is the answer? The people's general tendency is, unless he is a madman, nobody is prepared to die, but he has to die. Presenting the same impractical liberalism that the young reporter in Los Angeles had, Drishtadhyumna answered, but I accept death as a part of life. It is natural, so I'm not afraid. Then, when there is some sign of death, why do you go away? Prabhupada challenged him. Sit down and die. Everyone looked at his exposure of the obvious. He went on to explain the actual psychology. You don't accept. You don't want to die. That is the fact. You are talking foolishly that I accept it, but you don't accept it. The real fact is this, that you don't wish to die, but because you find that there is no other alternative, then I accept it all right. So you can talk like this foolishly, but the intelligent man, you don't want to die. Kuladri Prabhu presented another criticism directed at the devotees. They say, why do you worry so much about death? We're living, we're enjoying life. Why do you worry about death? Because we're intelligent. Srila Prabhupada responded, I love you. Therefore, you will die and you will become a dog. So I'm taking sympathy on you that don't become a dog. Every human being is anxious. The example is given just like a child flying kite and is going this way on the roof. Now, on the edge of the roof, so one gentleman standing, hey, you will fall down. That is his duty. The child says, why you are checking me? The child is saying, why you are checking me? Because I'm a human being. You are a foolish boy. Therefore, I'm checking you. That is natural. The boy is not his son, But because he is gentleman, he wants to give him some protection. It is the duty of gentlemen. So we are speaking about quality of ahimsa, in the sense that to preach Krishna consciousness, it is also ahimsa. It is also ahimsa. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to the Indians that you become perfect and go and give this knowledge to the rest of the world. They are all rascals. It is para upakara, humanitarian. You may say, why do you bother? But as a human being, I bother. Every human being will do that. Krishna comes bothering himself. Yada yada hi dharmasya, glanir bhavati, bharata. When these have become rascals fools, I come again advise them. So those who are servants of God, they are also doing the same thing on behalf of God. Their position is therefore exalted. They should be worshipped as God because they are doing the work of God. They are not cheating the public. So it is Srila Prabhupada's analysis and explanation of the nature of ahimsa, or we're speaking about particular case of ahimsa. When someone is preaching Krishna consciousness, he is practicing ahimsa. 15 minutes left before we finish, and this time we're going to use just to read these wonderful stories from this compilation, from this book. And I hope I will finish with this compilation and will share it with you before our, module, Bhagavad Gita module will be finished. I hope I will be able to finish with this and will share this book with you, this compilation of the stories. Satyam, or truthfulness. Speak the truth, present things as they are without distortion or deception. Satyam means speaking the truth without distorting it for one's own personal interest. Truth should be never manipulated to gain material advantage or to support one's own agenda. And so truthfulness, according to the 7th canto of Bhagavatam, it is also listed in the list of 30 universal qualities. And according to the verses 7, 11, 21, 7, 11, 22, 7, 11, 24, this quality of truthfulness is quality of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Shudra. Vaishyas are not mentioned here. In 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that Vaishyas, they have to cheat sometimes. Maybe you remember this part from 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It is their occupation, like each and every action that we are performing here in material world is covered by some imperfections. The same way, duty of a representative of any, I'm just searching for this place. Duty of representative of any varna is also covered by some imperfections. Just I will show you this place from 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Maybe because of that, Narada Muni is not saying that truthfulness it is quality of a Vaishya, because you see Bhagavad Gita 18:48. Saha jam karma kaunteya sadosham dosha means imperfection. Sadosham api natyajet sarva rambha hidoshena dhumena gir ivavritaha. Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as a fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that in conditioned life, all work of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is covered by some faults or doshas contaminated by 3 modes of material nature. He gives the examples. If one is a Brahmana, he has to perform sacrifices in which animal killing is necessary. Sometimes. Well, in our case, we don't have to. But anyway, such example is given. Similarly, a Kshatriya, however pious he may be, has to fight enemies. He cannot avoid it. Similarly, a merchant, however pious he may be, must sometimes hide his profit to stay in business. Or he may sometimes have to do business on the black market. These things are necessary. One cannot avoid them. Similarly, even though a man is a Shudra serving a bad master, he has to carry out the order of the master, even though it should not be done. So each and every activity is covered by some imperfections. The imperfection of a Vaishya is that they have to cheat. They have to cheat their clients sometimes. Sometimes they have to cheat government to stay in business. It is the nature. It works like this. It is reality of life. We're going back to the book.
This will lead to some karma, Prabhu. Whatever flexibility just now you talked, that will lead to some karma, right?
Yes, it is. Okay, please repeat the question. It's not clear. Can you repeat it? Can you repeat the question? Switch on the mic, please. Switch on. Switch on.
Yeah.
Whatever
flexibility so given just now in the text over there. Like Vaishya, he has to tell lie for his profit. Sudra had to work for a bad master. But that kind of activities will lead to some karma for the particular person, right?
Usually it leads, but there is a verse number 3.9 where it is written that one can be liberated from samsara if he dedicates his actions to Supreme Lord Vishnu, to his satisfaction. So if Bhakti Yoga is not practiced, then of course we are in dimension of karma. But if Bhakti Yoga is practiced, then we are not. But again, it doesn't mean that if we are practicing Bhakti Yoga, we can do whatever we like. There should be some restrictions, rules, and so on. So we have to consult with some qualified devotees how Krishna-conscious merchant should act, or how Krishna-conscious administrator should act. Because of that, we have Daivi Varnashrama ministry in GBC, in ISKCON, Daivi Varnashrama ministry, and they are about to open Varnashrama colleges in different places, mainly in India, but in other countries also where good climate is there, where you can grow your own food. And in these Varnashrama colleges, they are supposed to teach people how to be Krishna-conscious Brahmana, Krishna-conscious Kshatriya, and so on and so on. But again, these projects are just in the very, very beginning. It is just on very, very beginning stages. So it will take years and decades when these colleges and this process and this Varnashrama in our organization, ISKCON movement, will be presented how to say, in mature way, and with knowledge, with full understanding of how it should be done, and so on. Means if we are practicing Krishna consciousness, responsibility is there. Means that we cannot do anything and everything just by saying that I'm doing this for Krishna. There should be some restrictions, but I don't know exact restrictions for Krishna conscious Vaishyas. It is the details which we can get from their Varnashrama colleges or from Bhakti Raghava Swami books, from books written by Bhakti Raghava Swami Maharaj. It is the subject matter for the whole seminar. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going further. So we're speaking about about truthfulness. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of a truthfulness. We will read this story and we will stop here. he tells this story in Transcendental Diary. Prabhupada said, let them come in the temple, and there may be offering of Boga. Let them chant and take prasada. In this chanting, illiterate, literate, rascal, fool, lower, higher, everyone can join, and give them prasada. See the effect. Kalau Shudra Sambhavah. The Vedas are meant for the Brahmanas, so there is no Brahmana practically, neither there is a training of Brahmanas. Brahmana means he must speak truth. And if you ask nowadays anybody that you don't speak lie, you speak truth, he will laugh that what a rascal this is. By speaking truth, one can live. Nowadays. He will say. So where is Brahmana? A Brahmana is so simple that if you ask him about his secrecy, he will tell you. As an example of truthfulness, he cited the story of the disciple of Gautama Muni, who was once asked by the Muni, "Who is your father?" He said, "I don't know, go to your mother." He went to the mother. Mother said, "Oh my dear son, I don't know." He was a prostitute's son. So he came to Gautama Muni and said, "Sir, my mother doesn't know, I don't know." So he said, "You are a Brahmana, because you don't keep any secrecy, you are Brahmana, I will initiate you." So it is not the birth, but the quality truthful. But these qualities will come when you make him a devotee. So this process should be taken, how to make him a devotee. And the easiest process of making devotee is to let them come to the temple, chant Hare Krishna mantra, and take prasadam. Then gradually they will become. I began this movement on this, very simple. And they have come. I never asked them to study Vedas in the beginning. What they will read Veda? What do they know? But if you take this process, it will be very quickly successful. And then literature, I never gave them literature. I have got about 80 books. Not that in the beginning I asked them, come here and read books. No, chant Hare Krishna and take prasadam. Now they are interested in reading books, in publishing them, in selling them, in everything. They are doing everything. So if you take the authorized program, it will be successful. Otherwise, it will not be successful. Mr. Raju didn't need any convincing. He has observed the events of the last few days and is greatly impressed. He also realized why things are so successful. So this speech, Srila Prabhupada's speech, he told that you just chant Hare Krishna mantra, come to the temple, take prasadam. It is our process. We are not just Sanskrit scholars, we are following this process given by Srila Prabhupada, which is meant for everyone. This process is meant for everyone, and very different people are coming here, joining our movement. So this quote from Transcendental Diary, it proves that godly qualities or divine qualities, it is not something which is inborn. It can be inborn if your past lives are godly past lives. But if it is not so, it also can be acquired by practicing Krishna consciousness. Or better to say, not just acquired, but awakened. In Nectar of Devotion, you will get to know that Bhakti, it is original state of consciousness of living entity. Means Bhakti, it is not something which we take from outside and trying to put in our consciousness to. It is not something which is artificial to our mind. Bhakti, it is our real nature, and this process of Bhakti, process of devotional service is just about to awaken our dormant love for Godhead, which is in our heart. So these godly qualities can be awakened if they are not inborn, if someone has, even he has heavy karma, or he had unhappy childhood, anyway, he can awake these qualities within his heart by following this authoritative process of devotional service. And if you have any questions or thoughts, please share these thoughts or questions, dear devotees. If you have some thoughts or questions, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have one question. Prabhu,
Okay.
while the start of that initial, you told that the Garbhadana Samskara means we chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra so that we'll attract godly souls. That's what you told. But already, that is what kind of children we get. It is already pre-decided, no, Prabhu? How it will change, Prabhu, if we chant?
That's right. Partially, to some extent, it is predestined to some extent. Anyway, it will make a difference. It will make a difference. If someone is, to someone birth is given in spiritualized consciousness, or if parents were drunk when they were having this sexual relationship, sexual intercourse, there will be some difference anyway. But yes, the whole karmic story of parents also plays role. That's why it depends not only on these 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but it also depends on their approach to Krishna consciousness practice in general. And anyway, even if they are externally, they are nice devotees, anyway, some hidden parts of their karma can be revealed in form of behavior of their children. It is bitter truth of life. It also can be like this. But I don't want to make anyone upset. But anyway, any surprise can be there. Birth is given to a child, and basically parents, they don't know what kind of a child. They can do whatever depends on them. They can chant these 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They can have serious spiritual practice. Then anyway, it is not that 100% of this depends on them. There can be some devotees who are revealing the hidden parts of parents' karma, or it can be diseased child. Usually parents, they hope to have healthy children, but sometimes heavy disease can be there. So it proves the only one thing, that we are not controllers in this world. We don't control. Something depends on us, but basically everything depends on Krishna. He is supreme controller. Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He controls. And somehow he gives particular soul as a child to parents. Parents can do whatever it depends on them. They can give some education, they can give knowledge, they can show a nice example. Then anyway, this free will is always there, and after some time, becoming adult person can reject Krishna consciousness or can continue with Krishna consciousness. That is the quality of detachment which is needed for Grihastha, that it is not that everything depends on us. Like this.
Thank
There's
you.
also quality of knowledge from 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Keshavipalini, right? You are raising your hand. You have raised your hand.
One comment based on Mataji's question.
Just one moment. Keshavipalini already switched on her mic. Just let's listen to her.
No, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu. No, I was just adjusting the remote of the fan. I'm so sorry, Prabhu.
It was just like exercise, physical exercise. Okay. Dwarkadish Prabhuji. Yeah.
I think based on Mataji's question, it is also depends. It is also for the privilege is given for the devotees based on their consciousness and the purpose of getting a child. For example, I'm just giving. husband and wife both are devotees, and they are trying to develop a consciousness, and they are praying to the Supreme Lord, oh my Lord, we want a child who can able to fulfill your desire, whatever it is, That kind of consciousness develops during the association. There could be a possibility for the Lord to sanction such benefit, right?
Possibility is
I don't know,
always
I'm just giving.
possibility is always there, but we don't know what exactly will happen in particular case.
Yeah.
But possibility is always there.
Possibility is there.
Yeah.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, based on Mother's theory, because the karma is predetermined.
Please switch on the mic. Mic is switched off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mataji's question, based on the previous our karma, it's already been determined what kind of life, what kind of children they are going to get in this life. But now we are changing our life from ordinary person to devotees.
Yes.
So our karma should be at least neutralized in this life. So we are deeply praying to the Lord, not for our sense gratification, for the Lord's purpose. I'm thinking that way.
Okay.
Will that be mercy from the Lord, or what? I don't know.
It is good if we have such hope. But you see, in Kali Yuga, everything is so mixed that in demoniac families, devotees, they can take birth. Or in devotional families, some demoniac personalities, they can take birth. Everything can happen. But anyway, yes, we should be optimistic. Otherwise, why should one start this family life, right? There should be some hope. One should be optimistic. Otherwise, why should one start? Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, again, he was telling that if it would be guaranteed that all these children that I would produce, I would beget, all these children will be Krishna conscious. But I'm not sure that it will be like this. And because of this, because it will be uncertain for him, he not only because of that, but also because he is Acharya and he has particular mission to do in India, this Gaudiya Math, and also he accepted Srila Prabhupada as his disciple. So, but anyway, he was telling like this. Anyway, it is a general rule in this question of raising children or regarding our spiritual life in general. Very simple rule, general approach. We are doing whatever depends on us, and what doesn't depend on us, we just have to rely on Krishna. We have no other option.
Just try to the best. We just try to the best.
Yeah, yes, we do whatever we can do, and we are trying to learn more in order to do more. And what is not under our control, we are just relying on Krishna, and we can pray to Krishna, and we will see what will happen.
And also the karma influence to the child, to the parents, how he interacts, we don't know, right? It's very complicating.
Yes. So many unknown things. It is so interesting to live this life when there are so many things that you don't know. Otherwise, if you would know everything, it would be boring. It would be boring to live this life.
Whether the child is coming to give us some spiritual benefits or is going to give us more problems, we don't know yet.
Yeah. But in both cases, if parents they have Krishna consciousness, they will be having a particular attitude, which in both cases will be helpful to them. They will be learning how to tolerate this situation. It will be helpful for their spiritual life, or they will be will be experiencing this gratitude to Supreme Lord that He gave them nice child. Anyway, this perspective of Krishna consciousness, it is the best perspective. It helps us to get the best result from bad bargain, as we know. Anyway, it is helpful. The more Krishna consciousness we have, the easier for us to live this life. Because this devotional path is for simple people, not for those who are trying to complicate everything in their lives. Everything becomes simple and blissful. The more Krishna consciousness we have, the more bliss and simplicity we can experience. Okay, some more questions or thoughts? Or ideas?
Prabhuji, can I add something, Prabhuji?
Excuse me?
Can I add something?
Of course.
Yeah, so following all this discussion here, Mataji and Prabhuji, so there are several factors coming into play here, because first of all, we have the mood of the parents, then the godly atmosphere, then the child's past karma, because the child cannot choose his parents. And then finally, taking all this into consideration, it all comes to the final sanction of the Lord, because he places the soul in the semen of the father to the womb of the mother. So he decides everything. We just have to play our part and just depend on Krishna. That's it. That's what I just have to add, Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, devotees, see you day after tomorrow. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sinubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Recording stopped.
Thank you very much for
Krishna
your
Prabhu, thank
attention.
you.